Hey guys, Rohan Sheth here. Let me begin our conversation by saying that if you still think digital marketing does not work, please do me and yourself a favor and skip this video. But if you are like me and see the future of advertising and digital marketing and understand that it will be, if not already, an essential part of any form of business, welcome. In today's video, what I would like to touch on is a very interesting subject, the subject that has created a massive gap between generations of businesses and business owners, and the subject that has been defined as the legacy of many brands. We're going to be talking about traditional marketing versus digital ways of advertising. And is it time to completely forget about the traditional ways of advertising? So let's find out. The big thing when you're competing with traditional marketing and digital marketing is price and sustainability. If you understood marketing back in the day, we had direct mail, we had billboards, we had radio, we had TV, we had infomercials. And in today's day and age, we have Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Google Display Network, Snapchat ads, TikTok ads, Pinterest ads, native advertising, Google search, and I could keep going. If that doesn't give you where the digital marketing career and the era is going, in my personal opinion, getting on board today for most businesses is still not delayed. We just went through some of the most difficult times for most businesses. Businesses that still relied on traditional marketing like direct mail or billboards. And for those businesses that completely relied on that, well, when you couldn't leave your house, where else were you going to market? Where all the attention went online. Now, the ones that pivoted and went online made a huge difference, transformed their business, and some of them probably blew their mind at the numbers that they could even pull with the marketing that they were doing by letting go of traditional and focusing on digital where we are today. The big thing as well between traditional and digital marketing and comparing price to sustainability, with billboards, you have a time limit. With radio ads, you have a time limit. With TV ads, you're paying for every single time it's on a specific time. When you're doing digital marketing, whether it's organic or paid, especially if it's organic, it's there to live on that platform for pretty much ever. A YouTube video like you're watching right now may get a certain amount of views today, the next week, the next month, but the compounded effect of being me marketing this video specifically on YouTube over the next years to come will pay more dividends than me putting a video like this on a TV infomercial. The biggest part of the entire sustainability is price. You got to factor in costs of goods. So when I was literally doing it, I was doing lumpy mail. So I was like buying little trinkets, putting them in envelopes, and buying envelopes, paper, print, mail, etc. Take my time to go to the mail post office and drop it off. There's a lot of additional factors and cost depreciation that most people don't see. The cost benefits to being online is you literally could run the entire thing from your iPad or your computer. When you get online, you can be literally on a budget of as low as, I don't know, 10 bucks, 20 bucks a day. Figure out what you want, especially if you're a small business. You really only gonna be targeting maybe a 5 to 10 kilometer radius. Your cost benefits are you can reach a lot more people at a very short amount of time for a very efficient way. And if you do it effectively, you yourself can see the transformation in your business. Part 2, and that's statistics and analytics. Now, in today's ever-changing digital environment, analytics is the name of the game. And what I mean by that, from the time someone sees an ad to the time someone converts and becomes a leader, becomes a sale, you need to be able to track and make decisions efficiently. Conversion rate optimization is something that we can talk about in another video. However, continually optimizing your ad campaigns, your funnels, and the entire sales process is going to give you the best statistics and the best analytics for anything that you implement in your marketing. That being said, knowing your numbers, knowing your KPIs, and knowing your lifetime value are some of the key metrics that you should be paying attention to in your company. One of the greatest things that we ever did inside of our company for our clients as well as internally is knowing our key metrics. The key metrics that we ask every single one of our clients is, do you know what your cost per acquisition is? That is something that you should be knowing right off the bat, because the one that can spend the most and understand the statistics of closing a deal and analyzing it throughout the entire process is going to win. Number 2 is, do you know what your lifetime value of your client is? Because that in itself goes back to the original question of cost per acquisition, because you can factor how long an average client is going to be with you. Once you have that data, those two simple things will actually help you make an informed decision in what you can do in your marketing on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. So make sure you're tracking, make sure your analytics make the most amount of sense, and also no matter which way you go about it in the digital marketing space, this is the biggest thing that you need to be focusing on in 2021. Part 3, focused targeting. Now, traditional media back in the day when you were doing direct mail, like I said earlier, that I've done a decent amount of in my career, you used to have to be going to places and buy lists and hoping that the data was on point. Those lists were not as accurate, and sometimes you were buying lists that they were telling you that it was a demographic or geographic location. Some of them you were buying lists that you were hoping it was the demographic that you were going after, had the same interests, etc., that your product was going after, and you would not get that data back unless you tested and did a mailer or got some kind of data that you were going after. Now, the targeting that was offline and traditional. Online in targeting is very, very simple. If you're using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., these platforms are giving you data that they are getting on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour, minute-by-minute basis that's continually building an audience for you. Refining the targeting, going after them, being efficient with that targeting is the fastest way, in my opinion, that getting your end product and your end service in front of your customer is the best thing that you can do today. Now, also refining and understanding your targeting and using tools that are out there that give you a better insight, because there's plenty of other third-party tools. A simple Google search can get you them. Implementing those into your marketing can take your business and marketing to a whole different level. Part number 4 is immediate feedback. Now, if you look at traditional advertising, like I said earlier, when I was doing direct mail, and I'm gonna correlate a lot of these towards my personal story. Now, if you're doing traditional advertising like direct mail, one of the things is you have a number of people that you're sending your envelope to, your letter to, your calendar to if you're a realtor, because I get a ton of those, or notepads, etc. Do you have immediate feedback of how many of those someone actually picks up, reads, puts it down, leaves it on their coffee table, or just ends up in the trash can?
Kobe.
And I can almost guarantee you majority of direct mail ends up in the trash can in today's day and age. The big thing that you got to understand is the immediate feedback from the online advertising space is that from the time someone sees an ad, to the time someone clicks an ad, to the time someone reads something on a landing page or your website, enters a lead, you can have immediate feedback from that point. Now, that flywheel effect of seeing to conversion, like seeing an ad to conversion and going back to becoming a sale, can transform your entire business because you can make changes on the fly. Whereas before, you had to sit down and sit there like a Buddha, meditating for probably 7 days to get enough data, enough phone calls, and then eventually redo it again. That's a lot of time to waste, as we most know, in today's fast and ever-changing environment. Part number 5, and that's refining your strategies. Now, earlier in part number 2, I talked about conversion rate optimization. Now, conversion rate optimization is such a broad term that most people still don't implement or don't understand. And the simplest way to look at it is refining your strategies. If you're in the digital marketing space and refining your advertising, refining your customer acquisition, refining your funnels, refining your sales process, customer delivery, customer support, the entire business, every incremental change in your business is a compounded effect that makes a huge amount of difference for your company. If you were in the traditional marketing space, like I've said in the past, you could be sitting there meditating like a Buddha and hoping to be able to refine these, but guess what? You're going to be waiting. So, like the SpongeBob theme.
2 weeks later.
Now, what you can do at the end of that entire program is you can wait for 2 weeks and get traditional media back to you to get the data and analytics that you need to refine the strategy so you can go back and redo it. Or you can double down in your digital and refine strategies at a speed of light. A lot of the times our clients are getting changed and decisions are being made every single day until we hit the KPIs, the numbers that we need to hit to get them the results that they want. That is the reason why businesses that aren't online today are the ones that are losing out. We've all seen, the demise of companies like Blockbuster, Neiman Marcus, Forever 21, etc. All of these businesses that did not double down in the digital era. Why? Because they thought traditional marketing and retail was still the way to go. Now, to summarize this entire video, should you completely forget about traditional advertising and their ways of advertising that came from back in the day, or should you just completely focus on digital marketing. In any part of your business, if you are having a balanced outcome of using one side or another, there's going to be benefits and drawbacks to both sides of marketing that you're going to do. For us, for example, I run a digital marketing paid advertising agency. Yes, my bias is completely to the digital advertising side. However, us as a business owner and business owners that we consult on a day-to-day basis still implement traditional advertising. There's still a demographic of people that you can reach that just aren't going to be online. Now, let me guess, if you have a demographic that you're marketing to grandpas, grandmas, great-grandmas, great-grandpas, majority of them aren't going to be on Facebook ads. So please continue your traditional advertising and send them your newsletters in the mail, because I can almost guarantee you're getting immediate feedback from them. As well, for people like myself that are in the digital space and doing marketing on a day-to-day basis, once I get enough data from my end clientele, I take that data and transform it to the offline world. Because there's a thing in marketing that most people do not focus on, and that is called premiums. If you have a digital client and you send them a physical product, you have just increased the lifetime value of your entire client. If you have an offline client and you send them a digital product, you can do the exact same thing and increase your business's lifetime value. To give you a perfect example, us at the agency in our coaching program, once they come on board, we are going to be mailing them a shipped box full of goodies that they're going to be getting.
Oh, no.
Guess what? They're getting coached on how to get better at digital advertising on the online platforms. However, we're going to be mailing them something that they can look, feel, and touch and actually feel proud of being part of our entire program physically. Swinging the pendulum one way or the other is not going to be the best. Finding a balanced outcome where you can use offline and online mediums to its entire advantage, and the way to do it are phenomenal. If you need help on implementing exactly how to balance that out, do me a favor, leave me a comment on what your business is and what you've done, what's worked, and I'll share with you what you can add on. If you've had a balanced opportunity and spent some time doing some online advertising and traditional advertising and found something that's worked, but leave me a comment as well. There's some tweaks that I can almost guarantee you and you can implement in your business and marketing today that I can share with you in the comments, and you will be able to legitimately scale your marketing and at a predictable and efficient way of doing it. And if you feel like more businesses like this need to see this video, I implore you to please hit that like button, because we need to share videos like this with more businesses, especially in today's ever-changing business environment. Now, for those of you that haven't already subscribed to the video, hit that subscribe button, because I look forward to seeing you real soon.